Hello, yes, I'm back. I'm bad and worse than ever. Right, okay. I do apologise for me staying away for quite a while, battling with my demon depression, which thankfully has now buggered off again. Added on top of that, you probably saw the post that Ricky put up, in trains, regarding my dear friend that lived opposite, regarding her cancer, and she did pass away a couple of months ago. So it's been a very crappy time for me, but you know, life goes on and we have to move on. But you know, she's forever in my heart and all that. Right, so I hope everybody's well. Must say thank you very much for all your support regarding the post that Ricky put up about it. It really does mean a lot, so thank you very much indeed. Really does mean a lot. Right, cars. Cars, right, okay. Black one here, she's still the same. I'm not too fussed about that one at the minute, but yeah, work will get done, because I'm potentially going to be getting rid of the Jag. Lovely car, love it to bits, beautiful to drive, fantastic towing the Caravan, but regarding the fuel prices and looking at how the fuel prices are going to go, I probably won't make anything on it. I certainly don't intend to make a profit on the car, but it depends on what the car sells for. If it does sell, it might just have to be that I put it away in the lockup and leave it there for whenever, till it becomes a classic, I suppose. I don't know, I'm not sure what to do. Now the reason I talk about getting rid of it, because as you can see behind me, somewhere over there, right, there is the wobble box, and as you can see there, there's the, move my hand out of the way, as you can see there's the Ambassador parked next to it for the time being. Right, where are we with the cars? Right, let's go into that. Hang on. Right, the black one, ignore that for now, she's staying there. Mrs. Win. Right, I hope to be starting some work again now I'm back to, got my mojo back a little bit. I'm hoping to be continue on with that, finish the brakes, get that other side wheel arch finished off, and I think she's ready to go. Train going past there, if anyone's interested, not that you can see it. Ricky will tell you what it is. It's one of them Canadian things. Right, as you can see, I've got the bonnet up on the Jag. It's very poorly at the moment. A couple of weeks ago, I was on my way over to Chesterfield, and it decided it only wanted to fire on 3 cylinders. Anyway, it did that for about 5 minutes, cleared itself, left the light on the dashboard as it's supposed to do, but the rest of the journey and then on the way home it was absolutely fine. And it's been doing that now for a couple of weeks, where it'll fire up, run absolutely sweet for about 10 minutes, then suddenly start misfiring, going into limp mode, and basically I'm losing all my spark on this bank here, on all 3 cylinders, which is a bit odd. Obviously we've, you know, you've asked the question on forums and it's like, have you changed the fan belt, that kind of crap, so I'm just kind of staying away from the forums regarding the Jag. So it's a case of going back to basics. I've done all the earthing points on the battery. I had looked at getting the ECU out and sending it off for repair, and I thought, well, if it's going to fail, it's going to fail. So I think I'm looking down the route of, for now, at the moment, spark plugs. Let me just get one out for you, so I can just hold it up. Where am I? Where have I put them? Right, I've got no idea what make these are. These are focus AGSF. I don't know, never seen them before. It's got made in the USA -06. Are these plugs that old? Anyway, I've got a gap. Shame it won't focus, but I've got a gap here of about 2 mil on them plugs. So while I'm getting them out, I'm just going to bang some new ones in. So if anybody wants to add on the comments what are the best spark plugs for a 2.5 X-type petrol, comment below, please. So I've got to get the inlet manifold off, and so I can get to the back bank of plugs. Now, considering how these came out, they were pretty stiff all the way. Train line's busy tonight, and as you can probably see, they're a bit rudsy. Yeah, they don't look the best, but the gap there is absolutely huge. So I'm guessing some of the service history that come with this car, which is right up to, I've only done 10,000 miles in the car, and the last service was 10,000 miles ago. I'm guessing that these plugs are probably about 50,000 miles old. So, yeah. So that's where we are with the Jag. Now, the reason I'm contemplating selling this car, because this car couldn't take us on our holiday last week. I wasn't going to risk it. So no, the Kia didn't gain a tow bar, and looking at the specs on the Kia, it would probably, it tows about the same weight as the Jag, would you believe? But there you go. Anyway, this little beauty, the white one, isn't she gorgeous? Right, I had a tow bar in the shed, a brand spanking new one from Unipart. Yes, and she's now wearing it. And it was basically just to get us on holiday. We weren't travelling around much, and we weren't going far. But considering she's an old 2 litre with a Borg Warner slush box 3-speed automatic, she towed that thing rather well. I'd get Ricky to add a photo in about now to see what it looked like on the car, and it did look quite silly. It looked quite small compared to the Caravan. But I'm no stranger to doing things like that. I mean, that Caravan has also been towed with a Rover 45, albeit the 1.6, but I must admit that was fun. The Rover 45 towed that Caravan really well, because I think because it's geared lower, the revs, it was constantly in the power band, so pulling power wise, the Rover 45 was brilliant. The only downside was when you was going downhill, you definitely knew that Caravan was pushing you downhill. So it was good fun, but I like these challenges. So the Jag, back to the Jag. So anyway, the plan is I don't want to keep the tow bar on that car. That's not the plan. The plan is to get this one up and running, because it's a manual. I think I want to tow with this car, and I think it'll be pretty good once it's all up and running. Yeah, I know she's lopsided and all that, don't worry about her. Back to this heaper thing, the Jag. So yeah, next off then is to get this manifold off. Yeah, great. Right, see you in a bit. So we got the inlet manifold unbolted, all the sensors disconnected. However, as this is a Ford designed engine that's meant to be mounted longitudinal for rear wheel drive, Jaguar in their wisdom mounted it transverse and 4-wheel drive. Rather nice of them. Anyway, the back of the manifold is held on by a little bracket somewhere down here, and this is one of them that you can't see but you can feel it, and yeah, that's going to be fun. Anyway, I've managed to slacken the bolt off. Yeah, so it's down there somewhere there, look, round here. Right, bear with me, let's get this thing out and have a look. Right, so that's the manifold, inlet manifold. It's a heck of a beast there. Plenum chamber they call it, isn't it, these days? Inlet manifold. Yeah, right, anyway. So that's that out the way. There are still 2 coolant hoses still attached down on the throttle chamber. I'm not going to remove the whole thing, I don't need to, but I've got now access to my rear bank of plugs. Now I just hope to God that these have been out at some point, because the front ones I was a little bit worried about stripping the threads or breaking a plug. That's how tight they were. I was a little bit worried. That's the said bracket that the back of the manifold is fastened to, and that goes right down there into that hole there. These there are for the wiring harness. So yeah, right, let's get them them coil packs off and disconnected and get them out of the way, and then we'll whip them plugs out. Wish me luck. As I thought, yeah, these haven't been out for a while, because those threads are, you can hear that, them are tight. So I'm not gonna go at it like a bull at a gate. I'm just gonna do this. That's loosening off okay. Yeah, so I have to put the camera down for this bit, because I need both hands to keep that extension bar nice and straight. So wish me luck on the other 2, but this one's coming out okay. Cheers. That's a hell of a gap. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that these haven't been out for quite a while. Brilliant. I don't think I'm going to bother putting these back in. They'll probably work fine, but not knowing what brand they are, I have not got a clue what they are. There's no, I would expect, you know, other than made in USA. I'm worried about that 06. I'm hoping that's not the year that them plugs were manufactured. If so, they're about 18 years old, which does worry me a bit, which means I'm wondering if I was getting, that was the problem with it all along. I don't know. I'm hoping it is, but them look a bit iffy to me, them too. What do you think? Should I put new ones in? I think I will. And here we have our set of new spark plugs, and also inlet manifold, or the plenum chamber gaskets. These come from Jaguar. These are from Jaguar Spares Northeast. These were purchased on eBay. So for the whole set of 6 spark plugs and the 6 inlet manifold gaskets, come to 50 quid with £4 postage, so that's not too bad. So the plugs are NGK-R. Yeah, and comparing new with old, look at that gap there, that's unbelievable. So hopefully this solves our little problem. So let's get these things in and get the whole thing put back together. So here's a little tip from Wonky before we start putting the spark plugs in, and that is basically to get a little dab of this stuff, copper grease, anti-seize, whatever you want to call it. Just get a bit on your finger there, and hang on, let me just do that. Yeah, all messy, isn't it? And just put a couple of little smears on your threads before you put your spark plugs in. This stops them seizing up. This is something that we do at work on the forklifts, especially with gas engines, and they've got an aluminium head. The plugs tend to seize up if they've not been removed for a while. So on every B service, which is usually every 12 weeks, even if the plugs don't need changing, we'll pull the plugs out and we'll just obviously re-gap them, but before we put them back in, we'll just put a dab of anti-seize compound on there, and it makes life easier then later on, you know, 10,000 miles, 20,000 miles down the road, you need to get your spark plugs out. And in this case, this is like 3 years I've had the car and I've never pulled the plugs out because I've only done 10,000 miles in it in that time. So yeah, there's a little tip for you, free from wonky. Do you like my cup? So that's the front bank of plugs in, and also you can't quite see them, but the rear bank of plugs is in as well. So I've grabbed 3 of the 6 coil packs. I don't know which ones went where. Basically I wanted to mix them up, so if this problem persists, hopefully if I do get the same fault codes, then I know it's not the coil packs. If obviously I do get different fault codes where everything transfers to this bank or both banks, then I'll know it's a coil pack out, which I don't think it is, if I'm honest. So I'm going to pop these in on the rear bank. Well, nothing to it really. I don't know if you want to see me do a video of it, but there we go. That goes in there, plug out the way. That goes there onto the plug. That's it, she's home. That's it, simple as that, nothing to it. Same with this one. Down there, down she goes. That's it, the bolt holds it into place, and that's it. There's not really anything I can show you there. So I'll get these bolted in, connected up. I'll put the new rubbers on here, and we'll get this beauty back in place, and then I can put everything back together on the front. I mean, really, this is only a 10-minute job to do. You know, I've put the plugs in literally within 2 minutes. They was in, gapped and sorted. It's just getting all this off and the pipe work and everything else just to get to them. But that's modern cars for you, modern technology, and a V6 engine mounted transverse. How nice. And with the miracle of time, that's our coil packs in, bolted into the position and connected up to the wiring loom. All I need to do now is replace these inlet manifold rubbers, or plenum chamber rubbers, whatever you want to call that monstrosity. Pretty huge that, isn't it? Anyway, so all I need to do, just flick these out one by one. I'm not going to keep them, I've got new ones, so there's no need for me to keep them. I mean, yeah, they'll probably look okay, they might work again, but they are not as supple as they possibly could be. Yeah, let's chuck some new ones in, I've got them. So, but what I'm going to do is just clean out all the oil residue from here. Obviously oil goes up through the breathers as a vapour and gets reburnt, so obviously it builds up on things, and yeah, and we're a little bit sticky to come out. So yeah, bear with me, I'll get these get the rest of these out, get these cleaned up, and we'll put the new rubbers in. So there's our new gaskets in position. There's just one more to put on, and as you can see, they are ribbed for extra pleasure, apparently. Now what this does is basically keeps the whole thing central as it sits in the hole set. Just plonk it over the top and just push it home into the hole there, making sure it's all the way in, fully seated down to the bottom. There, we're good to go. So manifold back on, and the awkward bolts at the back to put back in. So we're not far off. Well, we're only about half hour away from firing her back up, so it's just a long-winded way of doing things, but there we go. Stay tuned. So there we go, there's the front bank of coil packs on, connected up. There was no point me showing you that, it's the same as the back bank relay. All the plenum chambers bolted on, all nice and tight, all my wiring looms back all connected up, vacuum pipes, that's it. So there's basically just the air filter to fit and the pipe work to it, and that's it, we're done, we can fire her up. so just hang on there, and there we are, all back together. So I've had a final check round, all my wiring harnesses are back on, all my plugs are back on, all hoses connected. So I think without further ado, let's see if it runs. Right, Jag. I don't see why it won't run, to be fair. It was running before I stripped it down, so. Okay, sweet as. Well, yeah, it runs, so I suppose the only thing to do now, oh yeah, go and have a bank loan and put some fuel in it, I suppose. And that's it, she's settling down to a nice tick over. Sweet! Yeah, so I think I'll go and apply for a bank loan, see if I can afford to put some petrol in it. Actually, it doesn't matter how much the fuel goes up to me, I'll still only put 20 quid in. Just to have to do it more often. So yeah, I think we'll get some fuel and we'll take her for a run and see what happens. Bear with me. Hello! Sorry for the crap handle, I've had to put you in the middle of my dash because I haven't got one of them fancy phone holders and tripods and gimbals like the boss has, you know. He has them fancy gimbal, you know, gadgets and stuff. Anyway, I've had a word with the bank manager and he's let me remortgage the house to put some fuel in the car. It was on empty, you know, you saw earlier on. 30 quid has took it up to just below half a tank, which gives me around about 148 miles of range. Oh, that's rubbish. So I've reset the trip computer. I'm averaging, I'm doing a steady 65-ish, 60-ish on cruise control down the A38. You've seen Ricky drive down there a few times. Yeah, she's doing about an average 34, 36 miles per gallon, so that's not too bad. Part of the A38 that I'm on is actually uphill, so that's not too bad. I'm quite happy with that. So far, so good. I've been and got some fuel, come through Burton, got on the A38, I'm heading south now, and given the time that I've been driving, normally it would have given me a little misfire by now. So I've got it on the cruise control, just I'm not rushing, I ain't pushing it, I never do anyway. So yeah, the jury's still out as to whether I keep it or not, because I don't think I can afford to run this. I mean, even if the car was to just sit on the drive, taxed and MOT'd and insured, they're £700 a year, because the road tax on this thing, being a 2.5 petrol, is around about 480, 500 quid a year for road tax, which is a lot, wouldn't you agree? But I suppose when you get by these luxuries such as a Jag, you kind of pay for it one way or the other. So and given the cost of fuel at the moment, you know, alright, I don't use the car often anyway, and I don't get that far in it. Probably the furthest to go to is Wales, going over to see my mum and dad. So I could do that in the Ambassador if I'm honest, and I'll probably enjoy the drive a lot more. But so far, she's not. Touch wood. Oh, touch wood! I've got wood in this one. Yeah, touch wood. So far, so good. I'll let you know more on the way back. Right, well, I've turned round just before the roadworks on the A38. Some roadworks there, and if this was going to play up, I didn't really want to be farting about down there, to be honest. It's not what I wanted. Yeah, so far so good. And I think for just a short test, I don't know whether it's going to flag anything up, because how it was performing was it would either do it within 10 minutes or quarter of an hour, 20 minutes, then you'd have 5 to 10 minutes of it farting about, and then it would right itself and be fine for the rest of your journey. So I don't know. It certainly feels good, probably because I just haven't driven it for quite a while. Yeah, it feels nice. It does feel good. Now I can't tell whether it's just me feeling for things or listening for things. Can't tell if I just detected a misfire then. I don't know. Bump in the road maybe. I don't know. It's not flagged up anything on the dash yet. The management light's not come on, and yeah. Is it fixed? I don't know. There's probably going to be an update video in about a week's time, and it will probably be with me hitting it with a hammer, a very big one. Like I say, touch wood, I'm heading home now. Don't want to put 30 quid's worth of fuel in and just waste it on a pointless journey. How far do I test it for? I don't know. Well, I've increased my speed now to 70, so she's performing well, she's pulling well. No sign of it playing up yet. Being so the battery's disconnected, being disconnected and reconnected, what the auto box does is self-learn. So basically, it was a feature on this car that it basically learns how the owner is driving and adjusts itself to suit. Whether that makes any difference or not, I don't know. So I do know that the gearbox does take about 10 to 15, 20 minutes for it to self-learn anyway. So whether the little stutter I thought I felt, I don't know. It might just be the gearbox sorting itself out. But if it was going to misfire, it'd misfire properly and more or less shut down the one bank, which was what it was doing before. So far there's been none of that. So yeah. Anyway, I've rambled on enough, so I'm going to draw this one to a close. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, all that. You know the stuff, you know the score. Good to see you all, good to be back, and yeah, more videos coming soon, so I'm told. Right, you take care, you people, be good, have fun, ciao.